This is the 5th lecture in the series on cloud computing for Internet of Things. In this lecture, you will learn about some of the basics about an open source platform for cloud, which is OpenStack. And in this lecture, I will be assisted by one of the TAs, Mr. Anand Sri, and he will show you how to create it is not possible to show you the installation of cloud or OpenStack. Specifically, it is not possible to show through this. Those installations are available. The instructions for installations are available through different links that are available publicly. Now once you have installed OpenStack, then how to create virtual machine instances, how to access those instances, and so on. So those manipulations, how to do, how to play around with OpenStack interface. So those things we are going to show in this particular lecture. So this basically is going to give you a practical exposure of cloud with a popular open source system, OpenStack. And so this through this, actually you can use OpenStack specifically with Internet of Things. If you are building IoT platforms and for cloud requirements, you can use OpenStack for it.
Hi everyone, my name is Anand Sri and I'm one of the TAs of this course. So today I'm gonna show you about some basics about OpenStack. So let's get started. Here, first, let us start with what actually is OpenStack. So OpenStack is a software through which you can generate your own cloud, and it is a joint project of NASA and the Rackspace Hosting, and it was established and it was first released in 2010. So right now, so many companies, so many big companies are helping in developing this software. So some of the companies are Cisco, IBM, HP, Red Hat, and so on. So obviously, actually, you can even contribute in developing this software. You can even develop your code that can upgrade the present OpenStack also. So it is completely free, and it is the only completely free open source cloud developing software that is available in the market. So some of the versions of the OpenStack are listed here. So it is released in order of the alphabetical order. So it was 2010. It was launched as the Austin, but right now the latest version is the Okata. So let's go to the next slide. So these are the components of the OpenStack. So in OpenStack there are so many components, and its components are acting their own function, and each component has their own specific functions. So first, here is a Horizon. This Horizon is the dashboard section. From this Horizon you can access other components. So actually Horizon is the GUI interface of the software. So it provides GUI sections. It also provides the overview of the other components. So when we do the practical section, you will know what the Horizon is. So next is the Keystone. Keystone is actually the authentication and authorization system. So when a user accesses the system, or when a user accesses the cloud, this Keystone will be able to detect if this user is authentic, or if this user is authorized to use the resources that he is attempting to use. So next component is the Nova. Nova is the compute service. Actually, Nova is the component where we are going to launch the instances and all. So, and the Glance. Glance is the image service. So for installing the instances, we need images. So for this we will use Glance. So it is also useful in discovering, registering, retrieving those VMwares also. And through this Glance, we can also give the snapshots so that we can use the snapshot later for the installation of the other VMs also. next is the sweep. Sweep is for object storage. So sweep helps in storing data safely, cheaply and efficiently. So obviously it is also written on the slide also. So the next is the neutron. Neutron is one of the most important part of the OpenStack because it is the networking part of the system. It provides the networking service of the software. So through this we can access other components, and through this we can access different instances. And in the Neutron you can create your own networks, you can modify your own networks, and we can say that Neutron is providing like the network as a service. So next component is the Cinder. Cinder is also a storage, but it is a block storage, like it is something like a pluggable type of storage. And the next is the Heat, and the Heat provides orchestration. So and the next is the Ceilometer. Ceilometer is the billing section. Like through the Ceilometer one can monitor what resources is using and for how long the resources is using. So billing is actually helpful for the cloud service providers. Like we can monitor which user is using which resources and for how long he is using the resources, and according to the time and the type of resources we can bill them. We can say how much resources that he is using, how much goes for that. So next is, so let's get started the installation part. So actually in the installation there are many steps. Like we can also install manually, like we can make our own VMs and then install it again, and it is quite difficult. So there are a script called DevStack through which we can easily install the cloud, like this OpenStack. In this DevStack the installation steps are already written in the form of .ss file, so we can directly run the file and everything will be done by the script itself. So while installing the file we may face some problems, like a proxy problem. Then the solving this kind of problem is already available in the internet also. So let's here also I'm showing how to install it using the DevStack. So DevStack script is found in git.openstack.org website, so you can easily clone from there, and you can clone them and you can access it easily. So in order to clone it, we have to first install the git software. So in order to do it, just perform the steps that I have given there. Like installation part, just go to the command, and after that just clone it, and after that go to the directory like this. So let's go to the machine where the cloud is installed and check what is it showing. So let's go there. So it is running here. So actually this DevStack folder is cloned in the home directory. So let's see what is in the home directory. So we can see that there is DevStack here. So we will go to this folder. So inside it there will be so many files. So we just need to run this .stack.ss file. So let's run it. So it is saying that it is already installed, already running this stack. So it means I have already installed the cloud in my server. It means I don't need to install it. So for the installation part, just go to the step and you will be able to install it. So for the installation, go there is some settings like go to the local.config file and set this settings and run the .ss file, stack.ss file. For the uninstallation, just run the unstack.ss file. So after that, let's go to the actual cloud and see some working about how to launch the instance and how to delete it, how to access the instance at all. So let's go to the cloud. Oh yeah, I'll be accessing as the admin. This password is the password that you set during the installation part, so you should remember the password and you should remember the username also. Only through that password and username you should be able to access this admin section. So let's access it. So this is the horizon. This is the horizon of the OpenStack. Means this is the GUI part of the section. So through this GUI part we can access two different components like instance is obviously the glance part, like networking is obviously the neutron part. So let's get started with the creation of the user keys. It will be required for the launching of the instance. So first let's create the key pair. So it should be start with the, you just go click the import key pair and there is the command for creating a key pair. So just copy it and go there and yeah, let's copy it and make some, yeah, like this is the name of the key. You should remember this key in order to access your instance. Yeah, this 2. So just double click it. So key is already created, so we want to access the key. Already the key should be created here after we create the key. So let's go create the key. First let's access the key. So this is the generated key, and actually this is the RSA generated key. So copy it, copy the key and go there, give some name. This will be the name of your key pair. Okay, so let's give it test2 and paste the generated RSA key here. So after that, import the key. So we can see that the key is already generated. So through this key, this key is generated using your keystone. Like this is the authentication part and authorization part. So this key is doing the authentication and authorization part of the cloud. So let's go to and first we go to instance and let's launch an instance. So let's give the name of the instance like this2. So this is the name of the instance. You should give the name of the instance anything you like, and after that go to next and select image. This is the Shiros image. This is the only image I have right now. Next time sometime we will be discussing about how to create a image and all. So let's launch this instance first. So you should edit, then go to next, and you should select one of the RIMs. So you should select it carefully so you won't be able your instance will run smoothly, as well as it won't consume the RAM of your server also. So for this Shiros, I'll select this tiny, and after that next. And for this network, this is already, I have created this network already. So let's select this one and go to the network port in this security pair, security group. It's already default, and after that and security pair. So this is the security key that we have generated just now. So now we can launch the instance. So let's see. It is scheduling, it is installing, it will take some time. Okay, it is active now. It is already launched. So let's check if we can access this. Let's check if we can access this instance. The instance is here, so let's check if we can ping this instance. In the IP of the instance is this 10.3.36.3.6. So let's see if we can ping it. So I think it won't be able to ping. I will explain you later. So let's exit it and let's set some rules and all. So first we haven't connect this this instance to any external IP. So if we don't connect it to external IP, then we won't be able to access the other outside environment won't be able to access it. So let's see the network topology first. So we can see that this is our instance. So test2 is the instance, and this is our network. So and this is the public. So until we connect this instance to the public, the outside environment or the inner environment won't be intercommunicate with each other. So what we need to do is first we need to create a router. So let's create a router. Okay, let's give some name like router 1. So it is created router, and we can see that from the network topology the router is already created. It is here. So all we need to do is connect this outside public world to the router, and then connect this router to this network. So let's do it. So go to the router and go to the interface, and add interface, select your network. This is DC, this is a network. So submit it, and your network is connected to the router. So right now what we need to do is connect the outside world to the router. Okay, let's do it. So it is done. So let's see the network topology. So we can see that the router is connected to the inner world and the outer world. So right now this outer world should be able to ping to the inner world, or should be able to connect with the inner world. So let's check if it is connecting or not. Okay, again it's not connecting also. So why it is it? So let's check it, because we haven't set any security rule. So let's do it. So for setting up the security rule, go to the access and security and go to the security group and manage the rule. So we can see that there isn't any rule that is related to pinging. For pinging, the rule should be ICMP, right? So let's add the rule. From here, select the ICMP and add it. So our rule is added. So we can let's see that if it is accessible from the outside world. Again, it is not. So why? Because we haven't set any floating IP. that means our instance is not connected to the outside world unless, you know, we have to set the floating IP. So let's set it. Go to the instance. Okay, go there, associate floating IP, and okay, let's generate a new one. Okay, it is generated and associate it. Okay, so we can see that there is another IP. This is the floating IP of your instance. So through this floating IP, the outside world should be able to access this instance. So let's see if it's actually accessible or not. Let's copy the floating IP. Okay, so let's ping it. Right, so we can see that we can able to ping it. It means we are able to access this instance from the outside world. It is a good thing. So let's go here, and this is accessible, and we can check if it is let's set another rule. Let's add another rule, like let's see if it is so we are not able to SSH the instance. So for this we also need to add another rule. So let's add it. From here, select the SSH rule and add it. So we should be able to access it. Since okay, let's solve this. Okay, now we can access the. So yes, so right now password of the keys. So here we are able to access it from the outside world. We are able to access it from the outside world also. So this is how we generate it and how we create the instance. So right now let's go to the neutron part. Let's go a bit deeper to the neutron part. Okay, so let's delete this instance for the time being, so that it won't consume much RAM of the hosting server. Right, okay, let's launch. Okay, DC. Okay, okay, let's launch 2 instances. Okay, flavor tiny. DC. And if you removed it, we don't need it now. So let's launch this instance and let's create another network. So I'll show you how to create a network here. So for creating a network, just click the create network, and after that give a name like marbles. Yeah, like marbles, and go to next. Yeah, you should click this create subnet part and go to next and give a subnet name like marble sub, and after that you should give your network address 10.0. Like okay, 4.0 slash 24. You should give the this subnet in the form of CIDR notation. So let's go next, and you should click this DHCP, and after that create. It should be created in a while. Okay, it's gonna take a while. Okay, so we have a Marvel and we have a DC. So let's connect this network. So let's connect the instances that is created inside this Marvel part and the DC part. So let's create another instances. It is taking a bit longer than I expected. Okay, let's access this from here. So instance, let's refresh it. It should not take this long. It's taking here also. Same here. Okay, it's coming. So we have generated two instances. One is the lantern 1 and then another is the lantern 2. So let's launch another two instances. Let's call it guardians. Okay, so let's select the same and let's go to the next and select the your flavors. Select it, next, and select the marble, next, next, next. So we don't need this key right now, so just launch it. It's gonna take a while. So yeah, this is guardians, and this instance is under your Marvel network, and this lanterns is under the DC network. So it is creating, so let's wait for a while. Okay, okay, it is created. So let's go to the network topology and check if check the network topology here. So it is loading. Let's wait for a while. Yeah, we can see that this is your lanterns and this is your marvels. These are not connected, so that means we won't be able to access this PC, this guardians from these lanterns, because they are not connected. Okay, so let's check if it is accessible or not. Okay, let's go from here and let's go to the lantern. Okay, okay, let's go to the console. Click here. Okay, for the zeros, this is the password. Just so it is okay, sorry. Okay, login as zeros and password is a cupswin. So we are under this zeros, so it is the lantern 2. So let's check if it is, we can access the guardians from the lantern. Let's check the guardians. Okay, what is the IP of the guardians? Let's check it. So IP of the guardian is this, so let's copy it and let's check if it is accessible or not. Okay, let's go here and ping 10.0.4.3. so it is not accessible, so we should set, we should connect the two networks. So let's do it. So go to the network, go to the router. So router is already created, so go to the router and at your interface, at the marbles here. So here we can see that from the network topology, these two worlds are already connected. So right now the two should be able to connect to each other. So let's check if it is able to connect it or not. So right now we can see that the two networks are able to connect. So this is how you set your neutron, this is how you set up your network, and this is all. So let's end here this session. So these are the references.